Punish for Protecting News live with Francesca Amato.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Punish for Protecting News live today in my kitchen. We've had a long night and we worked on my campaign commercial. Today we have a very wonderful person, and I'm really blessed to have him. His name is Dylan Stulkin. He's a survivor of foster care. Not only is he a survivor of foster care, but now he is a music artist. I'm very proud to introduce to you right now, Dylan Stulkin. Hi, Dylan. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing well. We're doing well. So, Dylan, we're going to play some of your music today, but I first wanted to start by just asking you some questions. If you would like to just tell the viewing audience how old you were when you first ended up in foster care, or what we're calling foster home care.
I was about 3 or 4 years old when myself and my brothers and sisters were taken from our parents.
Were you guys kept together?
My brother and I were kept together for about 13 years.
Okay, now we talked earlier about this being something that's hard for people to talk about, but you were saying that this is actually sort of healing for you and you want to talk. So I'm still very compassionate about what you've been through emotionally and every other way. But I'm going to probably be asking some difficult questions today, and as long as you're okay with that. How people want to know how that as a child, which it might seem like an obvious question, but I feel like the system itself doesn't comprehend what this does to little kids. How you felt as a child, and if you have any idea of how your other siblings were getting.
We're pretty lost, you know. We were kids, we were children. We didn't really understand anything that was going on. CPS would always make promises for us to stay somewhere, and we'd end up moving very far away from where we'd be promised to stay at. Basically, I didn't see my sisters for a very, very long time. I didn't really have contact with them. I had no contact with my parents whatsoever. We were adopted into the Cartwright family when we were about 5 and 6. And they were a very, very abusive family. Very old school. I would say, pardon my language, but I guess I got my butt whooped every single day for the littlest things. I spent about, 13 years in a basement every single day.
So let's go to that. Let's go to that right there. This family adopted you guys. Now, prior to any of this adoption, though, were there any biological family members that were willing to take you, or were you left in the dark and don't even know?
I don't know too much. I know that I do have other family. I don't think they really reached out. I have my grandmother in South Carolina. I have my whole father's side of the family in South and North Carolina. They're all successful people. None of them have had troubled lives. You know, I just recently met them after my father actually got out of prison, and I met my father.
Okay, and we're going to touch base on all of that because your dad was in prison. We want to know a little bit more about that, and with the emphasis of how you feel about the foster care system. You said that this Cartwright family actually kept you. Were you isolated in the basement, or were there other siblings in the basement with you? And why the basement?
Well, so we moved into this big house. We used to live in Mount Vernon, Washington. We moved away from there like a year after we were adopted. It seemed like a normal family for that whole year. Once we moved to Cedar Woolley, it was kind of a bigger, older house. There was a big, big basement. It was about as big as the upstairs. My foster father, David Cartwright, had built like 3 or 4 rooms. They didn't really finish the rooms. They just kind of put the sheetrock up and stuff and mudded the walls and left it like that. The floors were concrete. Basically, my brother and I got the bedrooms downstairs in the basement. That's where we were supposed to be living.
So now you were just one brother and then other siblings.
Other foster sisters in the home, Angie and Tina. They were actually blood related to our foster father.
They were blood related to your foster father. That's interesting. We see a lot of that. So now you guys were left in the basement, and you felt that it was abusive at this time. They would basically, you know, nitpick on something being wrong, and then you literally were getting, as you put it, your butt whooped. I mean, literally, they're physically hitting you every day, or?
It was more, yeah, it was every single day. It was like, you know, like normal kids would get like a couple of spankings. Like I was getting like up to 500 spankings with this plastic paddle at a time. I was getting choked, slaps, hit in the face. I was getting thrown into my bedroom. I had to put pajamas on at like 9 a.m. in the morning. And I would have to sit in my bed all day long until I was called upstairs to come get something to eat. And then I would have to go right back downstairs and lay in my bed. I couldn't play with any toys. I couldn't move. They had a camera actually pointing into my room, and they would sit and they would watch me on a monitor upstairs to make sure I wasn't doing anything.
I mean, this is unbelievable. And this is what the foster care system put you into, this family.
Yes, yes. I've actually had multiple incidences where I was hit and like the back of my head split open. She hit me with a plate. My foster mom did, and the back of my head split open, and I literally ran out of the house all the way to the Cedar Woolley police station. They took pictures. They had enough evidence to arrest them. They had enough evidence to take me out of the home, but still they refused to. They brought me right back to the home. They put me right back in the home. Another incident, I ran away one time because I knew the police weren't going to help me. And the police caught me. I was gone for about 3 months, almost a whole entire summer. I was just a runaway. And the police caught me, and I ended up going to juvie. And when I went to court, the judge put me right back into right back into their home.
Right back into the same home where all this abuse is occurring.
Yes, and they had years and years and years of proof and information knowing that these people were abusive. David, I broke one of the fence boards one time playing outside out front, and he came outside and started hitting me with the fence board, and it was in the front yard in front of everybody. And our neighbor, actually, they were these kids we kind of grew up with over there. They went and told their parents, and their parents called the police, and the police came, and they asked me if I was okay, and I said yes, because David was sitting right there, and I was scared to tell them the truth, and they just left me at the house. They had so many opportunities and chances to take me out of the home, or at least investigate and how these people were treating me, and they still refused to take me out of the home. And basically, I was just left there.
And how old were you at that age? How old were you around that time?
That was from when I was like 6 till I was like around 14, 15.
Now, do you recall some of the minor things that caused a beating such as this to happen? Like, do you remember something that was super minor that would just have them go off on you like this specifically?
Yeah. I had some problems as a kid. Like I was kind of a problem child. I would do weird things, such as like they would make me a lunch, like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I wouldn't eat it, and I would leave them all in my backpack, and I wouldn't throw them away. And like by the end of the week, I'd just have a backpack full of kind of nasty sandwiches, and I didn't really understand to throw them away or anything like that. And they'd freak out on me for anything. It didn't matter at all. Like one dirty dish, I'd be in trouble. You know, one time talking back, I'd be in trouble. Anything at all. Like I said, I couldn't play with toys. Like I remember one time they took all my toys away, and I ended up playing with cat food pebbles. Like I pretended like they were toys. I remember that actually. I used to roll my socks up into balls, and I would throw them in the air, and I would just kind of play in my head and imagine things.
I am so sorry that you ever had to go through anything as diabolical as this. Do you recall anything about your mom, or have you seen her or know anything about your mom and why they would take you and your siblings?
I know that my mom has gone through a lot of issues herself, and she obviously had a drug issue and, you know, was dealing with it. But I didn't know that until I met her. I met her once I was like 16, 17. Once I went back into group homes, and I was in Everett, Washington. Um, she was using. She was an addict. She still cared about us, but she just didn't really have the resources, or I mean, they didn't really help her. They didn't send her to rehab. They didn't, they didn't court order like Compass Health meeting or anything for her to see if there was something going on with her herself. Maybe if they could help her. It's almost like CPS, instead of helping the parents with their children and, like doing their job, what they're supposed to do is, make a family better, is they just take the kids and they put them in a group home, or they put them in an abusive foster home. And, they just think everything's going to be okay and that they did their job that way. And when it's completely the opposite, it's kind of destroying that kid's life. And
it's all about financial incentives. Obviously, they're putting you in a very highly abusive home, and they're approving of that highly abusive home, and they're working with to keep you in a highly abusive home. People sometimes are surprised because they know my very strong stand against child abuse. They know my very strong stand against drug addicts, raising children and so on. But sometimes they'll hear me say they're still better off fixing that issue as best as possible than they are being put into foster care. And people sometimes marvel as to how I, of all people, would say something like that. Well, you're an example as why I would say something like that. Plus, the next best step is biological family members. Okay. And then if you had a willing mom, in this case, to get some kind of help, maybe merging the children back into that. That's what the 4D funding is supposed to have been for, not what we're seeing, not the incentives, not all the financial gain that they get on the back of children. Would you say that I'm correct about that? Or would you say that you would have felt safer home than you did where you were, even in your mom, having this type of an issue?
Yeah, I would have, because she still took care of us from what I remember, and like you said about they should be finding biological family. Once I got out of that abusive foster home, they were putting me through so many different group homes. They had alarms on all the windows. It was that type of a group home. It was almost like sitting in juvie with a whole bunch of other troubled kids. But I literally had to go out of my own way in a group home to find my biological family down in Vancouver, Washington. They could have easily have contacted them, and they could have easily have sent me with my biological family, because as soon as I contacted them, they wanted me. They hadn't heard from me. Nobody ever offered to them. Nothing. And they were like very upset about it. And they wanted me to come live with them and be a part of my family, and not just move from home to home to home to home.
That's right. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And that's not what's been happening for well over 40 years, and why we expose these stories as we do. I always tell people is we have classes twice a week. And one of the things I tell people is never call CPS. Never. They're not trained properly, and it's all about incentives. Do not call them. If you actually have some sort of an issue, call law enforcement. Call your local police department. Not to say that some of them aren't corrupt, but the ones that are not corrupt, at least you have a paper trail. At least you have something you can foil. At least you have, and in New York, it's called FOIL, Freedom of Information Law. In other states, it's called FOIA. Okay, it's just, but what that basically means is you have the right to records. We have a legal right to public records. And in that case, at least you have where an officer can come in and say, yes, I saw, in fact, this beating, or yes, I saw, in fact, this, whatever. And you have a better chance than you would ever have with CPS. And they all basically suck. Okay, but we do have good in the midst of it. I want to have one of your first songs here. We have 2 songs today played. What are the 2 songs that you have here today, Dylan? And I would like you to set it up before we play one of them. Actually, we just lost you on camera. Hold on, folks. Bear with us. So what we're going to do right now. Okay, there he is. 2 songs here, Dylan. We have 17 Years, which I absolutely love. And tell us about your other song. What is it called?
Runaway.
Runaway. What we just discussed. Can you look at the little cutie there? Hello. Tell us about tell us about Runaway a little bit. Set the stage for that so we can go ahead and play that for the audience, and why you make music, and you're very successful at it. And we're very proud to have you on today to be able to hear something here.
Runaway is basically an intro to my new album. basically, if you're listening to the lyrics in it, I explain some things that have happened in my life that I was never comfortable explaining before or telling people about. Basically, you just got to listen to my lyrics. There's nothing like too special about it. It's up to you to decide if you really like it or not, or if it hits at home with you. That's where I let all my fans decide, and that's where I've gained so many followers and people who have enjoyed my music and paid attention to me. It's just the words that I say and how I say them. I connect emotionally with people because that's my job as an artist to do so. I remember growing up as a child listening to certain artists, and they would literally help me. They would help me cope with things to the point where I wouldn't do something crazy to myself.
That's right. We're very proud of you, Dylan. Very proud of you. You're a true blessing and a warrior. So we're going to go ahead and play that song right now, Runaway by Dylan Stulkin.
All these things are telling you I stand for. I live in a country where nobody wants to stand for. I just rolled up cushion, kick my feet up on the dashboard. Murder me, you never heard of me. I'm out here learning so I can rap for eternity. Charge my rap at TV cause I abuse it verbally. Ain't no person personally wanted more in that certainty. I was 15 when I caught my case, they charged me a burglary. And my foster parents beat me so I rapped in urgency. I see more in life than bitches, bottles, bags, in this currency. Most my homies ain't my homies, why I said I'm still learning things. Yeah, I ain't burning bridges. All these bridges are burning me. Act like they don't pay attention when they know that I murder beats. But I'll just keep on circling, waiting, I'll take it personally. And all the shit that's hurting me is soon to be adversity. You still ain't seen the worst of me, but you can be the first to see.
How freaking awesome that is.
Yeah, that's crazy. So is there going to be that many people when I'm performing? Like,
Oh yeah.
There's going to be like 20,000 people?
That 20,000 is like a minimum.
Oh my goodness.
Keep going the way we are with the artists and stuff, we can have more, but we're just kind of, yeah. That's Nancy Schaefer. Yes. Killed for exposing her.
Sorry, my phone is like almost dead.
Okay.
It'll come plug in.
All right. Well, we're gonna get you. Yeah, plug it in because we need you. We need you. Go away. Are we back?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, we're sitting here chit chatting over here. Okay. So Dylan, you're a dad too, it seems, right?
Yes, I'm a dad.
We're not hearing Dylan right now. I just see the little, his daughter. Yes. Okay, well, we're waiting on this, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to play the second song, which is 17 Years. I'm not sure if we can hear Dylan. I don't know if you want to set the stage for that song, Dylan.
I'll be just like I said earlier, just listen to the lyrics and you'll decide if you can vibe with it or not, or if it means anything to you.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to play it.
Amazing song.
All right.
Here, you want a bite, baby? Here.
17 years that I didn't have a father. That was 17 years that I didn't have a mother. I spent 13 years in a basement with my brother. If you dig a little farther, there's a story to uncover. I got 17 fears that I faced and you would run from. That was 15 years that you had my daddy locked up on. My mama's hooked on products she can't even get up off of. And it fits like it's a glove. When shit gets sour, I just run. And I can never get enough, but I can never give enough. So I just feel like giving up. Rip this pad of paper up, flip my middle finger up. And I can never give a fuck. Out of luck, and I wipe my shoulders off. Only say this out of love. All the days you weren't involved, all the times that you were gone, and you never thought to call. You didn't think of me at all. Always thought it was my fault. And I'm alone in this room with my fist against the wall. open up this cover, then I stare into this bottle, and my heart is really hurting, but my body feels so hollow. It's my pride that I will swallow, when I've always been a leader, never been the type to follow, and I might be here today, I cannot promise tomorrow. I just wish that I could call you, and my actions speaking louder than my words, cause I just lost you, and I've been such an asshole though, I just keep on nagging you, telling you I love you, all my lies that keep on dragging you, and I miss you, and I love you, and I kiss you, and I hug you, and I diss you, and I hate you, and you hate me, so it's fuck you, and I don't know like what to do, like why'd I fall in love with you, I'm pushing and I'm shoving you, I'm slowly losing touch with you, I miss when I was touching you, you make me so uncomfortable, like why'd I even fuck with you, but this is shit that love will do, and now you think I'm crazy, but I'll just keep on making music, never let it faze me.
You are back.
So we're back with Dylan Stulkin. So Dylan, you're a father, and how many children do you have?
How many siblings do I have?
How many children do you have?
Oh, how many children do I have? I have 2 daughters. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. I have Elisa Brianna Cartwright and then Avery May Cartwright.
That's beautiful. So I'm really proud of you, like I said, Dylan, and what I really find amazing is how you've gotten through all of this. Now you're able to tell the world your story. And through your music, what you're wanting to do is to reach out to young children, even teenagers and so on, who have been put through this horrific system called they call it foster care. We certainly don't call it foster care. CPS, I coined the phrase child predator services. I don't believe in any of this system, but I'm really proud of you. Is there anything else you want to add or tell anyone about what you've been through, what you think of this system, and what you're doing now to make a positive impact in the world?
There's a lot that I could tell you guys. There's a lot of things that happen to me that I would like for people to know. Maybe there's another day, a better day for me to explain more of it to people. All I really want people to know is, like, I am here to help kids. I am starting to blow up out here in Seattle on the Northwest with music and the hip hop scene. And the route that I've decided to take that sets me apart from these other artists is I'm legitimately setting out so I can help these kids and not just make music to benefit myself off of money. 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Come on.
You're fine. We're going to take a commercial break for the children, and then you guys will see the debut of my campaign commercial as I am in the pre-running for governor for the state of New York, so that no other child has to ever deal with what Dylan had to deal with ever again.
He is young, he's afraid, let him rest, heaven bless, bring him home, bring him home, bring him home. Who will fight for me if I don't have a voice? Oh, who could change my destiny? 'Cause I don't have a choice.
Mama, did you know that your baby boy got my eyes on you. You're everything that I see. I want your high love emotion. Endlessly, I can't get over you. You left your mark around me. I want your high love emotion. Endlessly, cause you're a good girl and you know it. You are so different around me.
It's not easy being away from my heart, pretending that I don't cry. Puppy, I miss you. Look out, mama, I'm coming home. Look out, daddy, I'm gonna roll right up to ever loving you. And you can tell by the way I look, I won't be wondering no more.
To the town where I feel a stranger hardly spoke to folks around, didn't have too much to say. No one dared to ask his business, no one dared to make a slip. A stranger there among them had a big iron on his head, big iron on his head.
And you're back.
Okay, so we're back
Second
with
thing we gotta
Dylan Stulkin right now. And so Dylan, a couple of more things I wanted to ask you before we jump into my campaign commercial. And that is, I know that you're going to be doing this, and I know that you've been doing this, and you've been, through your music, you've been reaching out to so many people. Have you met other foster survivors, I guess we can say, that you've been able to help, or that you can say had the same experience as you had, where it was worse abuse in foster care?
Most of my fan base is either troubled people who have grown up through foster care or have had the same type of family and life issues that I've had. So, I mean, most of my fans use my music every day to help them cope.
Right. And I know that we've done extensive social science research, and we know about the different things such as ACE scores and so on, and how, and my personal belief is that children that have been put through the foster care system or attacked through CPS and family court and the whole nine, or adopted out, we see a very large percentage that are, what you just mentioned, troubled. Would you say that just by your assessment of the people you're meeting, since that's your fan base, that the majority of these young adults and so on troubled because they were put through this system? That there's a high incarceration rate, drug rate, and so on and so forth, domestic violence and so on. So we're actually robbing families, robbing children of their entire childhood and producing this, instead of what we're doing right now with the Power of the Dream campaign, is the dream, which is the American dream, that's turned into a nightmare because of our overreaching government system that is literally destroying lives. And Another thing, Dylan, I'm not sure if you're aware of, but you had a situation where your dad was incarcerated and your mom was on drugs, but you had a good family that would have been happy to take you and your siblings. In many cases, in a very high percentage of these cases, the families are perfectly fine. It's a false allegation, and they've destroyed and they've wreaked havoc on families because of the funding and because of the financial incentives. Are you running into that with some of your fan base, that they came from good homes and were put into this system?
Yes, actually, a couple of kids. One of these kids I work with at Walmart actually is just like that. It's a really, really sad story. It's touchy for him to even talk about. He's the one who brought it up to me, but he was like in tears telling me about it.
Yeah, leaving a good family was put into this. We're going to go ahead and show everybody now. This is the Power of the Dream campaign commercial with my endorsers to run for governor of the state of New York, and you guys are going to see it first here.
Hi, I'm Francesca Amato, and welcome to my campaign for the Power of the Dream. You know, when the American dream has turned into a nightmare, we need people who will be true public servants. That is exactly what I am. I want to see families dream again, and I want their dreams to become their realities. No longer should we have an overreaching government system that causes us to have nightmares instead of dreams. I'm here today to let you know that I am running for governor of the state of New York, and I need your support. I hope and I pray that you check out my platform and watch my endorsers today, so that if you're not familiar with who I am, you will be when this is over. And I appreciate you signing the petition so I can file to run for governor of the state of New York, and we can see a New York that we can only dream of.
Hey guys, Billy Elson here, aka Billy the Kid, and I am live on location at a beautiful, historic Niagara Falls, where you are witnessing the power of the dream. God-given. It doesn't need to be explained. It is what it is. It's power. And that power has been a residual blessing in our community, the Western New York community and beyond, the great state of New York and beyond. That power has been a residual blessing to families everywhere. And I just couldn't think of a better location to come out and give my full support and endorse a beautiful human being, a wonderful person who just so happens to be running for the governor of New York State. And I'm asking you to get out there. I'm asking you to get out there, get some signatures. Look at her platform. It is truly a platform of love, protecting children, the elderly, our veterans, and she is doing everything in her capacity, as she has done in her capacity, as a fierce advocate for children and families, to create that positive change, to remove the incentives that destroy our families and replace them with the incentives that build our families up, that give us a chance. And I'm just asking you right now to look into your hearts. You know something's wrong. Even if you can't articulate it, even if you don't understand exactly what it is, all this left versus right, rich versus poor, black versus white, it's all a distraction. We need to come together. We can start that in New York. If it hasn't been done anywhere else, we can start it in New York. And I am so encouraged right now. I truly believe that the song I wrote here, Power of the Dream, that I wrote for such a time as this. And I'm asking you guys to get out there and to support Francesca Amato. Please get out there and do that. God bless you. Power of the Dream.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Shane Coyle from The Ultimate Decoy on Facebook. The Ultimate Decoy is a platform I designed to keep kids safe. From what? From sexual predators and the fact that they lurk on every street corner and they lurk on every aspect of the internet as well. And I endorse Francesca Amato strictly based on the fact that she is 100% for the safety of your children. The fact that Governor Cuomo has pardoned dozens of sexual predators, that's reason enough for me to say definitely take your time and take a look at your children while you're at it. And after you look at your kids, look at Francesca Amato's name, put a check mark on it. Because Francesca Amato stands for the very same things my platform and my movement that I created that's now sweeping the nation predator hunters. People that prey on the lifeless children are getting sought out and exposed by the ultimate decoy. And Francesca Amato believes in the same exact thing. She believes in your kids, my kids, her own kids. She doesn't believe in pardoning the people that hurt these children. Francesca Amato for New York State Governor, not Como, the man that just lets these people out.
New York City, what's up? It's Tony Blast with Team Loyalty Makes You Family. I run a page where I set up online stings to expose child predators preying on our children in New York City. It's a big deal. It's an epidemic. It's a problem. I'm also here to show my love and my respect and my support for a woman by the name of Francesca Amato. She's running for governor of New York City. She's been a protector of our children, our veterans, our senior citizens. I'm really not into politics. So for me to get on here and put my name and my face out for something, personally for me, it means a lot. I know she'd be an awesome candidate. I know she'll be an awesome governor. I know she'll take New York and the people of New York places that we've never seen before. I need you guys to show your support for her. I really do. I'm going to show my support. Everybody on my team, everybody in New York City that follows the page, please go check out Francesca Amato. She's a lovely, hard-working woman, a New Yorker from the heart. She loves New York. She loves the people of New York. And even foremost, that she loves the children of New York City. And anybody that's there to protect our kids, they got my back. Francesca Amato, I got your back, and we hope to see you in that governor's office.
Hi, my name is Christian, the kid on the book, and I'm going to be talking about my mom running for governor. Instead of seeing kids getting abused by family court, we want to see kids living the power of the dream. My mom is running for governor of New York because she doesn't want to see kids be abused by family court. She wants to see kids living the power of the dream. I personally have experienced judges making a bad decision that not only affected me, but my whole entire family. My mom fights almost every day so that kids don't have to go through what I did.
Hi, I'm Toni Jean Kolpinski, board-certified holistic drugless practitioner and best-selling author of Stop Battling Disease and Start Building Wellness, your guide to extraordinary health. I am here today to endorse my amazing sister, Francesca Amato, as New York Governor. Wouldn't it be wonderful to have a person that is an actual servant to the state of New York and the people, rather than a politician? I have watched my sister selflessly lay her own life down for the needs of others, veterans and children, and the elderly. Please vote for Francesca Amato today for New York Governor.
And finally, as I continue to go through the cases in the state of New York and even in the nation, I see every single day the amount of damage caused by our judicial system, our public servants, our overreaching government. So I ask you right now, in your support of me for governor for the state of New York, any New York State registered voter, as I am running independently, get into your email right now and email me at gov.ny.voteamato, AMATO, @gmail.com. I will provide you with a petition and request that you simply follow the easy instructions. Simply print as many off as you possibly can, and any New York State registered voter can sign with an ink pen and email back to the address provided for you in the response email. Thank you so much, and please get these petitions back to me as soon as possible. August 21st, I will be filing to be on the ballot so that I have an opportunity to be your governor for the state of New York. Thank you again, and may God bless you.
Hello, everybody. I go by the name of Moochie. I am the #1 radio personality, entertainment host in the entire Hudson Valley region. You can check me on any online radio platform, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all that good stuff at Reporting Live 845 online radio. The reason why I'm sitting here today and I'm so excited is because my friend Francesca Amato is running for governor. of New York State. Now listen, you should be just as excited as I am. Why? Because when I tell you this woman is a powerhouse, listen, she's captivating, she's intelligent, she has a heart for the people. She has a heart for the children, the men and the women, the boys and the girls, anybody and everybody, no matter the race, the religion, nationality. I encourage you right now to please sign your name on the dotted line. We need each and every signature so that our friend, now my friend turned your friend, Francesca Amato, can get on the New York governor ballot so we can get some newness. Aren't you tired of the same situations happening, the same lies, the same broken promises? If you're ready to dream again, to make things better, to live better, to breathe again, or in the words of our president, make America great again, all you have to do is vote for Francesca Amato. How do you do that, you say? Do this. I need you to go to gov, that's gov.ny, voteamato@gmail.com. We need your signature. Every signature matters. You know what that means? That means you matter. My name is Moochie Merchant. I'm a part of the Power of the Dreams campaign, and I approve this message.
We are back.
All right. So here are my final thoughts. Dylan had to go. Dylan is a dad, 2 children, so he had to go. And we're so grateful to have him on today. Here are my final thoughts for today. This is a work that many of us advocates have been doing for quite some time, a work that is finally making breakthrough. The noise that we're making is a resounding sound, and that sound has been breaking open the gates of hell, literally. You can see it by what's happening throughout the court system. You can see it within retaliation that is finally being exposed. And you can see it on Facebook. Internet trolls. Ted and I were literally up till 5 in the morning, being the frauds that we are, continuing to work hard so that we can stop this diabolical, corrupt system. So why do we do it? Well, Dylan is a perfect example as why. He is one of literally thousands upon thousands of kids that have gone through the horrific foster care system because of financial incentives. Why do you think throughout the past few years, so many good advocates have been viciously attacked on Facebook by those that you thought were victims themselves? Because there is an establishment that has been set in place to target good voices, to stop the exposing, but we won't stop. And that is another reason that I am personally running in my own state, the state of New York. And I am like the turtle right now against the hare. But remember who won? I am the one that will be the last person on the ballot. And I need your help so we can stop the abuse. I need your help. If you are a New York State registered voter of any party, send me that email right now. Send out this video so that all these kids can have the power of the dream. Remember the American dream? The dream to be all God created you to be? That's why we're here. That's why my phone doesn't stop ringing. That's why you're here. God created us to be everything instead of a system that is putting us in bondage. So email me today. I'll send you out a petition. Let's get this signed. I need to file on August 21st. And when I make changes here in our state, the state of New York, all the other states can follow. I want to say God bless you to each and every one of you and all the other advocates out there. Keep up the good work. And again, special thanks to Dylan Stulkin. Bye, everyone.
All these things I'm telling you I stand for. I live in a country where nobody wants to stand for. I just rolled up cushion, kick my feet up on the dashboard. Murder me, you never heard of me. I'm out here learning so I can rap for eternity. Charge my rap at TV cause I abuse it verbally. Ain't no person personally wanted more than that certainty. I was 15 when I caught my case, they charged me a burglary. And my foster parents beat me so I rapped in urgency. I see more in life than bitches bought us backs in this currency. Most my homies ain't my homies, why I said I'm still learning things. Yeah, I ain't burning bridges, all these bridges are burning me. Act like they don't pay attention when they know that I murder beats. But I'll just keep on circling, waiting, I'll take it personally. And all the shit that's hurting me is soon to be adversity. You still ain't seen the worst of me, but you can be the first to